chickens, welcome back. It's Angela here. Good to see you as always. Lovely to have you join me today. We're going to bind our little journal. So if this is your first time to my channel, a very warm welcome. And of course to everybody who supports me week in and week out. You are really a blessing and thank you so much. Your support and encouragement is always most welcome. Now today I've got my Chunky Monkey Traveler's Notebook. We're going to sew it into our cover. As you can hear, my Abby is next to me here, playing with her ball on her mat. You know, she can't miss this. Anyway, so let's get to it. All right, I've got all the journal pages that I've put in here. I have added a couple of tags. So just really quickly, just into the empty pockets. So from the kit, some of the tags. So wherever there was an empty pocket, I have done that. So I put a card in that one. Yeah. In this big pocket here, we made these double pockets. Let me just take this out and move it over there. This whole insert that we did, which opens up like that, I've added 3 tags in there really. So what I did was I used this page. So this page goes like that. And I've just measured slightly narrower, so 1/4 inch narrow on each side, and I've made a tag with that and just stuck on a sentiment with a butterfly and a ribbon. So that's what I've done there, really easy. That's going to go into that pocket over there, and I've done the other half for the pocket behind here. So we made this, I think, on our second video. And then this little bit that flips in and out, part of the same project, I've just taken another page. It had a lot of writing on it, so I just used these little scraps, stuck 3 of them there, and then just added these little bits on. Yeah, so that is about 1/2 inch narrower than, or just short of 1/2 inch really, on each side there. So that one is for this little one here. So there we go, those go all in there. Right, so that's that. Flip that back in, and as I said, I've just added little bits where there weren't. This is a flip out, so that's that. Belly band, I've just added a little piece in there. We've got lots of writing space. I will decorate with little snippets and show you in the final flip through. So I've added a tag in there as well. Some bits into the tuck spot there, and again on that side. So, and I've added a tag in there and those ladies in there. So you've still got space to put little, you know, writing paper notes in there. So it's really chunky now. It really is. And really, I suppose you could make 2 signatures out of this, but I'm putting it in as one. All right, so what you want to do first of all is make sure that you have everything together. And if you struggle with sewing in chunky signatures, I would make a suggestion to take all the ephemera that's loose out, so all the tags and everything. It's easier to manage, it's not so chunky then. All right, so that's what you could do. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this in place here to sew in. But we're going to start with the cover and our little piece of fabric. All right, so I've got 2 inches of fabric here. It's slightly longer than my cover, so to measure that in actual centimeters, it's about 9, just short of 9.5 inches. So it's slightly longer than my cover. And that's fine. I quite fancy a bit of that sticking out. I have drawn a pencil line on the halfway mark, so at the 1 inch mark. You're not going to see that, but when I stick this in, I can feel where the center is, and that line needs to match up with that. All right, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Fabri-Tac and I'm going to put that onto my fabric. So I'm just going to take the base away here. Now don't go straight to the top, because if yours is going to stick over a little bit like mine is. All right, so you want to stay a little bit away. I'm just doing this as a decorative feature. You don't have to do this. it really is just because I want to add it as a little bit of a decorative bit. So getting glue all the way down here. You can put the glue straight onto your cover, but then you end up having to touch it up, so I just thought I'd do it this way. Right, I hope you guys are all well and excited to come to an end of another project. Yeah, I'm going to show you on Sunday just the last few bits of decorating the cover, etc. So that will be our last one on this. Right, so let's get that. I can see on this side where I am, and I can pretty much see, and now I can just line that up. There we go. So we've got that stuck in place, and that really is doing nothing other than keep making that look pretty. Just want to get that piece out. There we go. Okay, you won't see the line here, but it is going to help when you are making holes, etc. All right, so we can just put that to the side for the moment. Now, what we want to do is we want to take this and open it up to the middle. All right, we'll line those pages up in a minute. What I've done is I've taken, again, it's about 2 inches wide, and you really just want to fold it in half. It needs to be as wide as your page is. All right, so this is just a piece of scrap card, a piece of file folder. It needs to be from the top to the bottom, the length of that, the width of this page. Okay, so that's what you want, and you want to be able to fold it in half like that. So don't worry too much about the measurements. So you fold it in half, and then what you do is with your ruler, find the middle mark. Okay, then measure about a ½ an inch or about a centimeter or so. There's no hard rules here, but whatever you measure down here needs to be the same here. Okay, make a mark with your pencil, and then a halfway mark between the two gives you this one, so that you've got your 5 holes. Right, I've written top here just so that when I'm doing more than one signature, or I'm also making the holes there, that these two are going to match up. So that's why I've got T to remind me that. When I say top, I mean that's the top, not that way, that way. All right, so that's what you want to do there. Now I'm going to take my cover. I'm taking a little bit of, this is like compressed sponge. I am going to get 2 of my little clips here. Now this will be slightly smaller, and I'm going to guesstimate the middle. Now because I've got this liner here, it gives me an idea, but the liner is slightly wider at the top, but that's okay. What I want to do is make sure that this line, this edge here, this folded edge, matches that line that I've drawn with the pencil. Okay, and I also want to make sure, so let's just get that down a bit, hold that with your fingers. You want to make sure that this gap here is pretty much the same as this gap here. All right, needs to come up just a fraction. Okay, check in the line at the base. There we go, move it up a fraction, and you can measure it if you want, but I'm not going to. I think that's where it needs to be. Okay, let's just see, where's that line? There it is, and there it is. So I am going to take a clip there and a clip on that side, so that we know that's where our spine is, and I'm just checking. Okay, right, so our pencil line is where those holes are on the fabric. Now all you need to do is take your pokey tool and push it through where the marks are that you made with your pencil. Right, it'll make a hole in your little template here and through your cover at the same time. Okay, now because we've got T for top, that's the top of your journal. Okay, so you've got your marks come through there, look. Okay, perfect. So you can take that off there now. Okay, so those are going to be where we're going to sew through, so that's fine. You can take those off too. right, then we're going to do the tough part now. We want to line these up. So just take your pages, right, push those in, make sure that's at the top, and push that in as well, as tight as you can, and clip it at the top there. And then turn it over, grab another clip, make sure everything is nice and as central as you can get it there, and then put a clip on that side. All right, so there we've got it. Now what we want to do is, I've taken these tags out just so I can not have all this fluff stuff at the top. Now what you want to do is you want to hang on to that sponge bit, but you want to get your thread to sew in your signature. I've just got crochet cotton. I use crochet cotton. You want that to be 3 times the length of your journal, all right? And that's what I've got there. I've got my little pokey tool and my piece of sponge. So what you want to do now is you want to lift this up, put that on the top there, and you want to press in the holes. Now try and keep this as straight as you can, not like this or like this. Try and get it 90, you know, completely straight, and then just move that along and push in those holes in your template. And it can be stiff in places. Right, and then the last one. Okay. So we've got that there, and we've got the holes come through there. All right, so that's good. Now, make sure that you remove this piece first of all. So this can be tricky, so you want to just slide it out without removing this clip too much. Just a little press on there just to release that. Okay. You want to grab your cover, make sure that you've got the front bit where you want it. So I want it like that. So they're in there. And now we will sew it in. So you grab your needle with your 3 times this length here. Okay, you want to put that through the middle. Yeah. Oops. Gotta have patience for this. And I also want to grip this under here, just to keep it firm. And then you want to go through the middle hole on your cover. Okay, like that. Right, then you want to push it through the second hole here, so that way, and push it through here. Now this is not always easy to do. I tend to rethread my needle a lot when I'm doing this, because for some reason it's easier to do it this way. Yeah. And it's also easier to get your pliers out. So there, the papers are lined up with the hole, and there I've got my needle through the needle now. Sorry. All right. So put it through there. Try and make it a little bit tight, you know, not too tight yet. Okay, so we've pulled that through there, and now we want to go through to the top one. So I've got that all in place there, and then the top hole here. Okay, now we need to start pulling this tighter, like that. Yeah, and then we're going to come out, go to the second hole here, and put that through where the second hole is. There we go. Oops, lost my thread here. Right, so we're going to miss the middle one and come out over here. Okay, and then we want to go through the second last one from the bottom. So let's just give that a little pull. Make sure that these are tight as you go. So this one's quite long, and I'm going to just pull that up so that we've got more, and give it a little pull along the way here. There we go. Now we want to put it through this one and come out. Give it a nice pull. Right, you can lift that one off now. Okay. Two more to do. This is the worst bit, I think. You want to go through there, and hopefully that goes straight through. It does. Good. Last one to do. This is where my little pliers come in handy. Okay, and then we want to go through there. Oops, you got your little one there, and you've got this one here, and sometimes it's just easier to go through this way, as I say. Right, turn it over and thread the thread through. Yeah, and now we can just pull that through. Oh no, that was too hard. Right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do is because I don't want to do this all again, I'm going to pull this along so that I've got more space, and I've got a long end here. So let me do that quickly, and actually that didn't take me very long. All I did was I just followed my initial path, went in there, came out there, and I just loosened these with my bone folder, and I was able to even off my threads quite a lot, so that's good. Right, before I tie a knot here, you just want to see that these are pretty tight, which they are. Okay, and then you want to not pull them too hard like I did. And that was lucky. I would have had to do that all again. And there we go. And we can just cut those off. So that was a grueling experience, but it's done now. It is easier if you take out your ephemera. Right, so we want to just put our cards back. So where's that page again? So everything's looking pretty all right there. That one slid down a bit, but that's okay. That's my own fault. And we want one of these to go in here. So this one is going to go into this one. There we go, and then on the other side of that, that can go into this one. There we go. Right, much better. Right, that can flip back in there, and we've got a whole chunky monkey going on there. And then on Sunday, look at that. Looks good, doesn't it? Then on Sunday, I will show you how I'm going to finish off the cover. Yeah. Right, so we can put little bits on the end there if you want, little circles or hearts or whatever you want to put on there. And gosh, this is one full TN notebook, isn't it? Look at that. All right, so we'll get our cover on. So grab your closure. Remember what we did. We made these bits in the very first video. I showed you this. You need your little flower, your lace, so these 2 lace bits. We'll put that together on Sunday, and then I've also got a little bit I'm going to show you. I've got a project to go on this cover as well, so I'll share that with you on Sunday. All right, guys, I hope that you survived that. I really like how it looks with the fabric sticking out there. It's pretty, isn't it? Really love this book. It's looking lovely. Just a few bits and bobs I want to put in here. All right, guys, that's it for Friday. I will see you on Sunday with the finishing touches here with the cover, and then we'll have a little flip through probably in the week after. Last but not least, I do actually have a 50% off sale, well, up to 50% off sale on my digitals. So Etsy slightly lower. I think Etsy's 40%, up to 40%, and my website shop, it's up to 50%. So on digital. So please go and have a look. Grab a bargain. It's on just about everything digital wise. So go and see what if you were looking for a kit. I've never had, that's the biggest sale I've ever had on my digitals, but we are coming up for a new kit, an exciting one as well, in a week or so. So I'll give you more information on that very soon. Stay well and have a good weekend. Bye-bye.